This past year, WARIVO has had me busy reviewing some of the biggest Bowie knives I have ever seen. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another one. Stick around. I hope you're doing good, my friend. Thanks for stopping in for a visit. Let's take a look at this blade. And here we go. This thing is straight up marketed as a Crocodile Dundee Rambo Bowie knife. And you know what? That fits the description. It's got that Croc Dundee vibe. It's got that Rambo vibe. So if you were that kid in the 80s, man, that was obsessed with Croc Dundee and the Rambo movies, well, now, you know, you got a way of being able to get out and pretend to be both. I'll never forget that scene where Paul Hogan pulls out that big blade and he cuts that leather jacket off of that guy who was trying to rob him with a switchblade. We're going to do a little experiment right off the bat to demonstrate what this can do. It takes a big old sharp blade to get a nice quick cut like that. This does come mega sharp right out of the box. 15.5 inches altogether. This handle's 5.5. This blade is 10 inches. Very comfortable leather handle here with a camo leather sheath. And this does come with D2 steel. So let's talk about practical application. You want to talk about a blade that's been around for a long time, that's been cherished for a long time. Well, this would be it. This is not only a Bowie knife, this is a massive Bowie knife. Pretty much sitting over in the machete category, and really in some regards, a dang sword. There are guys and gals out there that just get off on those massive blades. And you know, I reviewed a knife like this a while back. I believe it was from Dispatch. I'm gonna put it plainly, it was a piece of crap. It just was built light. It couldn't take anything. It really almost felt like a toy. Now, Dispatch has got some great blades. I'm not cracking on Dispatch as a whole. That particular Rambo style knife that I reviewed that looked very similar to this one, it was just very clunky. It was light. Now this isn't that way. This is a heavy piece of work right here. This is very, very stout. Now on my channel, I've had a lot of conversations about what you can and can't do with this type of handle construction. I'll just tell you right up front, don't throw it. Don't throw this unless you want all of this to get loose and all mixed up. This is not really something a lot of people are going to get out and throw, although some may want to. And the reason why I bring up throwing in particular is you won't find many things out there that will torture test the overall structure of a knife more than throwing. I see people do all kinds of torture testing on knives. I'm like, man, bypass all of that and just throw it. The throwing's going to beat the blade slam up. It's going to beat the handle slam up. And you really don't want to throw this. You could probably throw it a few times, but eventually it will get loose because the tang just runs right down into this handle. I look at this type of knife and what comes to mind for me more than anything is just hunting and skinning. You know, something like this right here could skin pretty much anything. You could skin a T-Rex with this thing. Also going through the bush and just clearing the path. This is a blade that you can do that with. You've got a nice long swinging blade there to knock down branches and limbs. Really, really sharp. This is one of the sharpest big blades I've handled as of late. Very menacing blade as far as just warning somebody or warding off a threat. You know, I personally don't want to have anything to do with you if I think I'm gonna come over here and kick your tail and then all of a sudden you pull this thing out and you say, get off my property. I think I might consider taking you up on that offer. You obviously can bush. Listen to this thing, man. I'm trying to do a review and this German Shepherd up here, man, he's doing all the talking. There we go. Yeah, I hear you. Maybe he should do this review. I think I got the werewolves quieting down in the neighborhood. You can bushcraft with this. It's not really what I would suggest for bushcrafting, but man, if you're one of those people that likes to carry a big menacing blade like this, I get that 100%. I think this thing is big and nasty and scary. It makes me feel good walking around out in the bush with this thing as well. And you obviously can do a lot of bushcraft with this. You'd want to keep something smaller for more up close and personal delicate tasks. You may not want to do all of that kind of stuff with this big blade, but you could. Got this big pommel on the end. It's got a pretty good size handle. My glove size is a large, so you can see that there's plenty of room if you've got a big paw, a big XL or a double XL. But you've got this pommel here on the end. They've got another one with a different kind of handle. It's constructed just like this, but it's got a different look to it. But if there ever was a blade or a knife style that captured the Crocodile Dundee Bowie knife with the Rambo blade, it's this one. Now, this kind of takes on the look of like a Rambo 2 knife. The more recent Rambo knife is a lot different. I don't know if you've seen the Heart Stopper. It's a really cool looking blade. I'm hoping one of these days to get a chance to review that particular knife. So again, this is more like the classic Rambo knife, but I think the Heart Stopper is a better design. It's the best Rambo knife out there. And let's face it too, blades like this make a great decorative item. This is a whole lot of knife to be walking around with, unless you're just, you know, out here doing some serious jobs and you're worried about being attacked by the world's largest predators, you know, because if you get attacked and you go in with this, then it's over. In a nutshell, any type of flesh that this comes up against is going down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've showcased this blade about as much as any man can. I didn't beat it up with a bunch of bushcraft tasks. I just don't think that's necessary for this review. I kind of follow my gut. You know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But one thing you did get to see was this thing slicing through a very thick-skinned water jug, and it was a perfect slice. This thing is razor sharp. This thing is big and heavy. Amazon says made in the USA, but I do believe this is a Pakistani origin. The item here weighs 640 grams, which is about 1.4 pounds, and that could possibly include the sheath as well. If you're into these monster blades and you want to pick one up, I'll have the link for you in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video. Take care.